Beautiful song right there, ushering us to 42 minutes past 7. And right about now, it's time for us to just check the highlights on the newspapers. But before that, allow me to just say a big shout out to each and everyone who is tuned in. We are live not just on YouTube, but also on Facebook. So if you have your phone with you, you have your gadget, you have your laptop, you can definitely stream right there. And thank you so very much. Wale ambao already they are sending some comments. I see John Ali watching us via Facebook, ready to be blessed. Anasema, now to him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think, according to the power that works in us. This is so powerful, and it's just marrying with what we discussed earlier on about God being your exceedingly great reward. Asanteni sana. Even my mom, of course, as always tune in. She's also saying, powerful word. May we keep believing in God's promises. Amen, amen. And to all those who are tuned in saying, we are watching, we are truly grateful. Thank you, even for those who are the silent watchers. I know you're there. We meet sometimes in the church corridors. Asante sana. But let us look at the, newspapers. As you know, yesterday, CBD kuliwaka moto kidogo, and that is just following Ojwang's death. And I see here the Daily Nation actually has that as the top story. And this was actually interconnecting with the budget day. So basically, there was just a lot happening in our nation yesterday. Ojwang death fury. This is on the Daily Nation. And here it's saying the murder of Albert Ojwang in police custody snowballed into a national security nightmare yesterday, with Nairobi city center plunged into an orgy of violence. The violent protest that saw some people injured and vehicles torched coincided with the morning appearance in Parliament by security chiefs and overshadowed Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi's maiden budget speech in the afternoon. A story that is covered on pages 2, 4, 5, 3, and 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5, yes. And also, just understanding more with John Mbadi. I see Mbadi explore 70 billion shillings Adani-type deals. The country is eyeing Adani-type deals worth 70 billion shillings in the new financial year as the government increasingly turns to public-private partnerships model to finance infrastructure projects in a strategy to avoid piling up more debt. This is pages 6 and 7. This opens my eyes to something that, even in the story of Jacob and Esau, you realize that Esau gave up his birthright because of a meal. So sometimes when people are in desperate situations, they can make some decisions that are not really well thought. And, I'm sure most Kenyans are fearing that this could be one of those decisions, because we understand what Adani coming into the picture may mean for the Kenyans, may mean for those who are even employed here. So we just pray that all will go well, and that the Lord will intervene on this situation, because again, there are so many deaths, but at the same time, we have had reports talking of billions and billions of shillings being lost to just corruption. So that means that if the government can handle the corruption cases that we have and reduce that, then it would actually result to more money, circulating in the nation. But we continue to just see what happens and how the story unfolds. But more on the Daily Nation. Actually, let me just go to the Standard, because I see it's still the same story here, so that we can finalize on it. I see fury against Lagat. Budget day is meant to chart a nation's future, but in Kenya, the past came roaring back. Protesters overran the streets demanding the immediate arrest of Deputy IG Eliud Lagat over the brutal killing of Albert Ojwang. What should have been John Mbadi's defining moment was drowned in tear gas and defiance, as chants of no justice, no budget shook the capital. Lagat faces growing pressure to step aside, but silence from the top only fuels the fire even more. And that is the Deputy Inspector General, Police of Police Eliud Lagat, who is definitely being put on the spot at such a time as this. We had cars were being torched. There was a lot of injuries. People filled the CBD yesterday. I could see people posting statuses of where akitia gas nimbaya. Looks like maybe they had never experienced it, and yesterday was the first time. But this is definitely raising a lot of concerns. And more on what the Daily Nation is also reporting is that Ruto at 1,000, Kenya, Ruto and the regional wars, meddler in chief or a peace broker? Question right there. I also see several properties in Nairobi, central business district, were damaged by Kenyans who took to the streets to protest the death of teacher and blogger Albert Ojwang. And still more on that story, a Nairobi police constable attached to Central Police Station has been arrested in connection with the death of teacher and blogger Albert Ojwang. So that is the story making headlines all over. And, we just continue to follow up on the same, praying and hoping that justice will be served soon. Because now that is leading to more damage being done, especially by the young people who are taking it to the streets. But that's it for the Daily Nation and also the Standard, covering about the same thing, and you can have a look at it. Of course, we are about to get to 1 year down the line after the Gen Z revolt, and there are rumors also, actually not rumors, I think it was actually a statement that was given that, we are expecting that the Gen Zs are going to go back to the streets to commemorate 1 year down the line. I can't believe it's been a whole year already. What happened? Of course, lives were lost and voices arose and a generation remembered. That is a story that I know many stations are going to be covering that. I also see Ojwang custody death. Officer James Mukwana has also been arrested with regards to that. I also see something that is coming in. President William Ruto has officially dissolved the State Department for Performance and Delivery Management in a sweeping government reorganization announced on Thursday. And lastly, health and education remain key pillars in the 2025-2026 budget proposal tabled by Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi, with each receiving some of the largest individual allocations in the country's fiscal plan. And that's it for the newspapers. You can grab a copy of your favorite, and let's continue to pray for our nation. So much is happening. There's so much chaos, a lot of tension left, right, and center. But we ought to pray and not to faint for this nation of Kenya, because it is ours. We don't have a substitute. It is ours. And as the nation prospers, we too will prosper. So we ought to keep praying for this nation, not do so much of complaining, but do more of praying and speaking life unto this nation. So let us take a short break, even as we look at the video of the day, and we'll come back and talk about it.